Namaste, friends, and welcome back, everyone, to this mental health conversation platform. We call it Inside Out. As it's rightly called because we have been for last 12 to 13 weeks the mental health awareness program, joint initiative of Anhad and Punekar News. We have been interacting. We have been conducting workshops for educational institutions, for corporate workplaces, for public sector departments, individuals. In this, we have been interacting with a lot of people, professionals and experts. This is one such platform where we get the professionals, the experts to talk about a specific topic that's relevant to the contemporary mental health issues, or let's just call something that's for your and our own mental well-being. First of all, I would like to welcome our guests, uh, Aruna Narayan, madam. Welcome to the show.
Thank
By
you.
profession, she is an architect and interior designer. She has been a managing director for a manufacturing company. But as we all know, pandemic had a certain impact on every one of us. So it does on her as well. And probably during or post pandemic, I wouldn't call post pandemic because I think we are still in that phase of post pandemic. So
Mm.
after 2022, she left her corporate life completely. She is a happy mother, a grandmother, and she is a Vipassana facilitator. She is a teacher who teaches Vipassana. And what's unique about her is she talks about thoughts, emotions, and then practices meditation. Aruna ma'am, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you, Kamlesh, for having me.
Again, we have a very special guest with us, Shilpa Tambe, ma'am. Welcome, ma'am, to the show. I think we
Hi.
all must remember on World Suicide Prevention Day, we had an episode, and Shilpa ji was also the guest there. There's a special, specific purpose for being her, uh, being there. So, Shilpa is a outdoor and awareness coordinator at Connecting Trust, which works for emotional distress and suicidal prevention. She has been a counseling psychologist and she is also a mindfulness practitioner. Shilpa ji, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, just to introduce about the topic, when we speak about emotional awareness or emotional awareness and emotional well-being, so we are going to explore the journey. We are going to navigate through the journey from emotional awareness to emotional intelligence. Before that, before actually diving into the topic, I would first of all like to understand when we say emotion, what does it really imply? Aruna ji, if we could start with you.
Yeah, I think that's a good question because uh, there are so many things going on in the mind that you don't really articulate what is what. So for example, there are thoughts which may be neutral. Okay, so they basically don't. You don't enter into any state of pleasantness or feeling pleasant or feeling unpleasant because of those thoughts. So they're very neutral. For example, I have to go out now. Okay, I have to do this or something like that. So very neutral. Then you have certain feelings that come out of certain thoughts. So you may be thinking of something that causes you happiness. So, oh, I'm going to meet my friend now, and you feel happy. Or there could be a feeling which says that I have to get up early in the morning, and you don't want to do it. So there's a sense of unpleasantness or a sense of resistance. I don't want to do that. So
Yeah.
you have thoughts, you have feelings, but emotion is basically something that feelings that are extremely strong,
Hmm.
and they generate feelings of either great happiness or great sadness within the mind. Of course, there are degrees, but typically, when you
Hmm.
say that you've gone from feeling to emotion, it's when you are feeling that feeling very strongly. It could be anything. It could be fear, it could be anxiety, it could be
Yeah.
happiness, it could be joy, it could be anything. So I think that is what we need to
Mm-hmm.
understand. That is a state of being or feeling emotion.
Yeah. Okay. Shilpa ji, if you could put some light on that.
Yeah, actually, we are all born with emotions, feelings,
Mm-hmm.
emotions. सब birth के साथ आते हैं. And it's just that we are not aware of them at times. हाँ?
Mm-hmm.
कोई रोता है, कोई हंसता है, कोई गुस्सा करता है, कोई डर जाता है. Everybody is born with this. It's just
Yeah.
that we don't talk about it, right? हम लोग जब स्कूल में हैं, everybody knows tables, at least 2 to 10.
Yes.
ठीक है, कुछ तो पता है, अल्फाबेट्स का पता है. दिस इज बेसिक्स. ठीक, अंडरस्टैंडिंग दैट आई एम एंग्री, knowing that डर लग रहा है, आई वांट टू अवॉइड दिस सिचुएशन, आई डोंट वांट टू फेस दिस सिचुएशन. बहुत छोटी छोटी चीजें शायद छोटे बच्चों को आती है, टिल दे
Mm-hmm.
लाइक मे बी 1 or 2 years दे आर ओल्ड, दे नो कि
Yeah.
मैं रोता हूँ तो मुझे दूध मिलता है.
Mm-hmm.
दे नो कि, बट जैसे ही हम समाज में एंटर करते हैं, जैसे ही हम इस नॉर्म्स में चले जाते हैं, स्कूल में रोना गलत है, चिल्लाना गलत है, with all this they start manipulating the emotions. Feelings, as
Mm-hmm.
Aruna ji rightly said, feeling can be contemporary, छोटा सा state हो सकता है कि I'm feeling angry or feeling sad,
Mm-hmm.
and emotion is something that goes on for a longer time. हाँ,
Yeah.
किसी चीज का गुस्सा सालों से मन में है, तो द इमोशन इज अटैच टू दैट पर्सन और दैट
Yes.
सिचुएशन. डर है, लाइक इफ एक बार अगर मैंने अंधेरे में कुछ महसूस किया है, तो आई अवॉइड अंधेरा ऑल द टाइम. सो देर इज दिस इमोशन ऑफ डर, fear. We are all
Mm-hmm.
born with this. And as the discussion
Yeah.
goes on, we will definitely talk about the awareness. How can we be aware of
Yes.
the emotions? Basic, there are
Yes.
only basic six emotions we can talk about for sure.
Yes. Mm. Okay. So, as you rightly mentioned, there are majorly there are 5 to 6 emotions that we classify into happiness, joy, angry, sadness, distress, disgust, for that matter. So, if we are there in the society, if we are there on the road, if we are in the traffic, we can witness the distress, the road rage we call. एक when we look it from a third person's perspective, आप जब किसी दो लोगों का झगड़ा देख रहे हो, एक बहुत ही आसानी से आप बोल जाते हो कि अरे आप झगड़ा क्यों कर रहे हो, why you fight, and probably even the two people who are involved in this fight or in that road rage, they are also not involved purposely. There has been some baggage that they are carrying, but unfortunately there was an accident, and therefore that whole baggage just it just come out of in that situation, it just came out of in that particular situation, and we see the cases of road rage. Second, we see people getting into fights at different places. In family, if we see there's a lot of chaos sometimes happens, and you just say it without even thinking about it, what impact it will have on the person what I am saying to. सो ये इमोशंस के हम अलग अलग अवतार बोल सकते हैं जो हम देखते हैं रोज की जिंदगी में, रोज की जो लाइफ हम जी रहे हैं, रोज हम ये सब एक्सपीरियंस करते हैं. बट इसमें आपने सही कहा कि अवेयरनेस, एक अवेयरनेस होना बहुत जरूरी है. तो ये अवेयरनेस हमने कब और क्यों करना चाहिए, ये समझना बहुत जरूरी है हमारे व्यूवर्स के लिए, हमारे ऑडियंस के लिए. अरुणा जी, इफ यू could put some light on this, like हमें ये क्यों करना है और हम कब से कर सकते हैं इमोशनल अवेयरनेस, और हम ये कैसे कर सकते हैं, देयर आर डिफरेंट वेज. आप इस पे क्या कहना चाहोगे? Yes.
So look, emotions are actually natural experiences. okay, that
Yes.
arise from very strong feelings. If you have to define
Mm.
emotion, I would
Yeah.
say that they are natural expressions. They are not unnatural. No emotion you
Mm-hmm.
can say is unnatural. They
Yeah.
are natural expressions of the mind that arise from certain feelings. And if you backtrack, like I said, there'll be some thoughts. And if you backtrack even more, you'll find a lot of habit patterns that we have developed in this lifetime from childhood, you know. And those also start influencing you as you grow older. And in the scriptures,
Mm-hmm.
it is said it's not just in this lifetime, even from past lifetimes, you carry a lot of sanskar, as it's called, a lot
Yeah.
of mental imprints that you come with.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Even if
Mm-hmm.
you do not talk about past lifetimes, basically, even in this life, you gather so many experiences, right? So I think to
Yeah.
answer your question, the best time to sort of start training in emotional awareness, and even before that, understanding what are emotions. I think is right from the time when you are a child and you start expressing emotions and you know that you have started expressing, or you know that you're emotional and you're saying something. So anywhere between
Yes.
the ages of maybe 6 or 7 onwards, I think a general understanding. Of course, you'll have to, if there is a study program that is created, and there is a study program which I'll talk about, but um it has to be for different age groups because children grow so quickly, and as they grow, they exhibit different kinds of emotions. Once again, experiences of life, external circumstances, all of that brings that out, right? So
Yes.
uh, I strongly believe that while history, geography, physics, and so many other things are taught in schools, which is just a part of getting some knowledge and getting information. Nowadays, information is we have through internet also. I think much more than that, we have to stress on this point of helping children develop this life skill, because while you are in school and college, you are not taught any life skills of any
Yeah.
type.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the reason I feel today we have this major issue of mental health
Yeah.
in differing degrees. And also there is lack of awareness of that, or the fact that I'm not actually mentally healthy. For example, a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people say, oh, I get angry, so what? Anger is a natural emotion. Actually, it's not a natural emotion. And also, even if it was natural, let's assume it's natural, it's not an emotion that is very helpful to yourself or to others. Creates a lot
Mm-hmm.
of pain and lot of suffering for you, yourself, and others. So,
Yes.
my point is that if you start training children in schools and have programs, which I will, like I said, I'll speak about,
Yeah.
it'll you have an immense impact on their mental health as adults. They will be much more
Mm-hmm.
emotionally healthy, because when you say emotional
Yeah.
intelligence, what does it mean? It just means emotional well-being, a sense of well-being, a sense of control, that yes, I can manage emotions, I can manage uh, the natural thoughts and emotions that get created in my mind. So it's a sense of
Yes.
being emotionally well, having emotional well-being. When we say mental well-being means what? It is emotional
Yeah.
well-being, basically, right? So
Yes.
I think that is the right age, and thankfully, His Holiness the Dalai Lama and a few foreign universities come together and introduced such a program in 2019. Then it got shut down because of COVID, because schools were shut down. But now they have started it again, and we'll speak more about it. But my
Yeah.
point
Yeah.
is that if you
Yes.
ask me when you should start, I would say right in
Yes.
schools. And because we have not done it,
Mm-hmm.
and all of us go through our own life experiences, and then we learn on our own, or we don't learn on our own, you know. And
Yes.
some people remain mentally unhealthy all their life, and then it leads to physical
Yeah.
diseases, all of that.
Mm.
So I
Yeah.
I am a strong believer in raising this awareness, and integrating it in our school system right from a
Mm-hmm.
young age, including practices like meditation, including practices like
Yes.
self-awareness. Very,
Mm-hmm.
very important.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for that, Arunaji. Shilpa ji, coming back to you again on the same question, if you could
Yeah,
put some light.
yeah. Let us just take the example जो आपने ट्रैफिक के लिए दिया, right?
Yes.
मानो हम हम 2 व्हीलर चला रहे, 4 व्हीलर, वॉट एवर, हम ट्रैवल कर रहे हैं, देयर अ क्रैश, छोटा सा कुछ एक्सीडेंट होता है. नाउ व्हाट स्टार्ट्स फ्रॉम दैट मोमेंट, लाइक अगर मेरे द फर्स्ट थॉट आई हैव इन माइंड इज ये कहाँ से आ गया, हाउ डिड दिस हैपन, इस लाइसेंस किसने दिया इसको, गुस्सा आ रहा है अंदर. द थॉट इज ये कैसे हो गया, कहाँ से आ गया, हाँ, ऐसे कैसे चलाते हैं, इनको लाइसेंस कौन देता है. विद दैट द फीलिंग एंगर स्टार्ट,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
फॉलोड बाय एन एक्शन. उसका एक्शन क्या हो सकता है आगे, झगड़ा, झगड़ा हो
Yes.
सकता है, आर्ग्यूमेंट हो सकता है. राइट नाउ इफ वी रिवाइंड एंड टू दैट मोमेंट जहाँ पे कुछ हुआ, इफ आई पॉज एंड आई रियलाइज कि शायद मैंने सिग्नल तोड़ा,
Mm-hmm.
मेरा ध्यान नहीं था, आगे
Yes.
का चला गया, उसके पीछे मैं भी चला गया और मेरा ध्यान नहीं था. नाउ व्हाट इमोशन कैन आई गेट विद दिस थॉट, गिल्ट आएगा,
Mm-hmm.
डर लगेगा कि अरे यार इट वाज माय फॉल्ट, एंड दैट विल बी फॉलोड बाय एन एक्शन कि मैं जाके सॉरी बोल सकती. राइट, so
Yes.
this is exactly how thought processes, thoughts, emotions, feelings and behavior are interrelated. यही है मेंटल हेल्थ, और कुछ नहीं है. हाँ?
Yes.
जो थॉट हमारे मन में आता है, जो फीलिंग आता है, जो बिहेवियर उसके बाद आता है. किसी भी चीज़ से अगर मुझे डर लगता है, मैं आगे नहीं जाऊंगी. मैं, दिस इज ऑल, मोस्ट ऑफ इट इज लाइक शी सेड, एक्सपीरियंशियल है. इसमें पास्ट है, कभी ना कभी
Mm-hmm.
कुछ हुआ है, वो इंसिडेंट्स मेरे कहीं ना कहीं माइंड में है कि अगर मैं फिर से चली जाऊंगी वो ये होगा. दिस इज ऑल अबाउट इमोशंस एंड करेक्टली व्हाट शी हैज मेंशन्ड, ये अगर हम बहुत पहले से अगर हम समझ सकते हैं ना क्या हुआ है. अनदर इंसिडेंस इज, कोई अगर बाहर गया है और लेट हुआ है आने के लिए, व्हाट इज इट दैट द फर्स्ट थॉट दैट स्टार्ट्स कमिंग इन, क्या होता है,
Yes.
कुछ हुआ होगा, कुछ प्रॉब्लम होगा, है ना, नेगेटिव थिंकिंग. दिस इज बाय डिफॉल्ट होता है. क्यों आता है, फीलिंग क्या है इसके नीचे, देन यू स्टार्ट वरिंग, देन यू स्टार्ट गेटिंग एंग्री, इन्फॉर्म क्यों नहीं किया, ये क्यों नहीं किया. बेस फीलिंग इज लव, बेस फीलिंग इज केयर. इसको भी अगर हम, माँ गुस्सा करती है हम लेट जाने पे, इसको हम अगर हम समझ सकते हैं तो वी शुड अंडरस्टैंड कि शी लव्स मी, शी केयर्स फॉर मी. फिर उसके बाद का स्ट्रेसफुल सिचुएशन शायद हम लोग अवॉइड कर सकते हैं, फॉर श्योर.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. और मेरा दूसरा सवाल यही था कि what would be the right age to make people make them learn about emotions, emotional awareness, ये सब.
एज इज या एज अर्ली एज पॉसिबल, जितना जल्दी हो सके. ओनली थिंग इज वी शुड बी अवेयर अगेन ऑफ 10th का पोर्शन हम फर्स्ट में नहीं दे रहे.
Correct.
दिस अवेयरनेस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, क्योंकि जब हम सिखाना चाहते हैं, जब हम इंट्रोड्यूस करना चाहते हैं, तो ऐसा तो नहीं हो रहा कि हम बहुत बड़ा सिलेबस एकदम पहले ही दे रहे हैं. वी नीड टू स्टार्ट विद बेसिक्स, वी नीड टू स्टार्ट विद एबीसी, वी नीड टू स्टार्ट एक जितना सिंपल उसको रख सके उतना सिंपल, एज अर्ली एज पॉसिबल, मे बी 6-7 years ऐसी से. हाँ, लेकिन बहुत ज़्यादा भी नहीं हो रहा, बिकॉज उनको इसी समाज में रहना है जहाँ पे लोग गुस्सा दिलाते हैं, जहाँ पे लोग डराते हैं, जहाँ पे they have to survive also. With awareness, this
Yes.
survival will come. So, age appropriate,
Okay.
step by step.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Shilpa ji, you have been working in for specifically emotional distress. People who are distressed emotionally, और जो काफी distressed situations में रहते हैं, they connect with you and you basically interact with you in a very distressful situation, I would rather say.
Yes.
तो वो situations क्या होती है, थोड़ा आप अगर शेयर कर सकते हो, और how, because हम एक लॉन्ग टर्म सोल्यूशन की डेफिनेटली बात कर रहे हैं, बट
Yes.
कभी कभी क्या होता है कि हमारे हाथ में बहुत कम टाइम होता है और हम एक बहुत डिस्ट्रेस्ड सिचुएशन में रहते हैं, तभी के सिचुएशन में एग्जैक्टली लाइक आपने काफी केसेस हैंडल किए हैं, तो थोड़ा आप अगर वो पर्सपेक्टिव अगर शेयर कर सकते हो तो दैट विल बी हेल्पफुल फॉर आवर लिसनर्स.
Yeah. The common fact here is the person feels unheard for a very long time.
हम्म.
हाँ, वो शेयर नहीं कर पा रहे चीजें, दे आर अनहर्ड.
यस.
आइदर सब्जेक्ट ऐसा है कि किसी के साथ शेयर नहीं कर सकते द कंसर्न,
हम्म.
और द लाइफ सिचुएशन इज सच कि उनके आसपास कोई है नहीं जिनसे वो ये बात
यस.
कर सके. सो द बेस फीलिंग इज फीलिंग लोनली.
हम्म.
हाँ, कोई मेरे साथ नहीं है, कोई मेरी बात समझ नहीं सकता. सेल्फ वर्थ, ये आई एम वो क्या शेड्स बता रही हूँ कि क्या क्या आ सकते हैं. सेल्फ वर्थ होता है कि मुझसे कुछ नहीं हो रहा, ये मेरे ही साथ होता है, इट्स ऑलवेज मी. I always
हम्म.
tend to get in trouble. No one understands me.
हम्म.
There's
या.
no one for me. ये फीलिंग्स आते हैं. और सपरेशन इज समथिंग दैट इज ऑब्जर्व. बहुत बहुत ज़्यादा लेवल पे सपरेशन. वी डोंट
हम्म.
टॉक, वी डोंट टॉक. देर इज सो मच ऑफ स्टिग्मा अराउंड मेंटल हेल्थ. देर इज सो मच ऑफ स्टिग्मा अराउंड इमोशनल expressions. You are a man, you must have heard it many times. मर्द रोते नहीं है.
यस.
हे काय मुलींसारखं रडतोयस. दिस इज सो जनरलाइज्ड एंड सो कॉमन. और यू मे सी एकदम हाई परफॉर्मेंस वाले लोग हैं जो हाईएस्ट केडर में है, हाँ, वेरी मैनेजर लेवल पे है. यू कांट अफोर्ड टू क्राई, यू कांट अफोर्ड टू शेयर योर स्ट्रेस, you can't afford to talk to someone. There's there's
या.
a say a watchman, the only earning person in the family. He has 6 7 people dependent on him. He just cannot express anything, especially when it comes to like one of the experiences on suicide prevention helpline was like one daughter had died by suicide, and he had two more daughters at home and wife. And he spoke with us for an hour and a half because he couldn't speak anything with his wife and the other two younger daughters, जिनका ये बारे में भी उन्हें डर लग रहा था कि अब क्या होगा. Not finding a safe space, not being heard, ये बहुत बहुत ज्यादा सामने आता है. जी.
Yes, yes. Um, Aruna ji, coming back to you again, you have, you know, like experience, a big experience, I would rather say, in quantity of time. Yeah, you have spent a good amount of time in corporate. You have been on a top position. You have interacted with top people in other corporates, and you have known them. You have known the workforce, how it works. We have seen there has been a lot of emotional distress at workplace and corporates, the industries, manufacturing for that matter specifically. Uh, what your experience has been and what all challenges you have observed yourself, and what really is the intervention that we should be talking about in this kind of situations?
I think I would sum it up in one or two things. Number one is that you have to create spaces for people to express what they're feeling.
Mm.
And it's not just creating the space, but the space has to be completely non-judgmental.
Yeah.
If you even get a feeling ना कि मैं इससे अगर बात करती हूँ तो this will affect my career, this will affect like if say I'm an employee in an organization and I'm feeling really distressed, but I can't talk
Mhm.
about it because this would affect my job performance, right? So
Yeah.
there are a lot of these things that are linked. Apart from the stigma, let me not even speak about the stigma, but even at a practical level, in a work, especially in workspace, people don't speak about it because they feel ki we will not be heard, we may not be heard. More importantly, we may not be understood and we will be judged.
Mhm.
Okay. Unlike if I say, today I'm taking a holiday because I have got a stomach upset. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so it's very easy to call up your HR or admin manager and say, "Aaj main nahi aa sakta because I got a stomach upset." But you can't really call them up and say, "Listen, today I'm feeling emotionally really low because
Mm-hmm.
I've just, I don't know, maybe I've lost somebody, or just in general I'm
Yeah.
feeling low, so I don't think I can. It's better if I work from home. Let's just
Yeah.
assume that I
Yeah.
can't come there, but I'll work from home." It's not
Mm-hmm.
possible. Where will you say something like that, right? And again, as you grow in the organization, as you become, you come in the top tier management, then those expressions become even more difficult. However, having said that, I think one way out of this is the fact that you can actually have regular interactions, regular workshops where
Mm-hmm.
you maybe have a psychologist or a counselor on board, you know, and allow the people to go and talk to him or her whenever they need to. Because, like she said, people are not being heard and they
Yes.
feel they're not going to be understood. And even if they speak, they'll be judged. So, the best person I think to go to is a counselor or somebody
Mm-hmm.
who is equipped to understand your emotions and equipped to give you a non-judgmental, unbiased, empathetic response.
Yes.
Creating such areas in all offices, all workspaces, whether it's manufacturing, whether it's big company, small company, kuch bhi ho, and then sort of earning the trust of employees, that person, whoever is, in charge uh, of that department. Because HR, I have seen there are HR departments and they are supposed to sort of do this work. But again, HR is very close to management, top management. And then it becomes
Yes.
very difficult to really go and speak very openly to HR.
Mm-hmm.
So you need a third party, number one.
Yes.
And it's a fact that stress in workplaces today is on the rise. Even statistics show that. A lot of studies that have been shown show that. Kamlesh, you are aware of those studies also.
Yes.
And at a practical level, absolutely it is true. There's no question about it. Because external
Yes.
circumstances and internal challenges for a person have increased tremendously over the last few years, especially after COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, in fact, there was a study that I read recently which said that people who have some emergency funds saved, they are much more sort of relaxed or productive in their workspace. But people who don't have emergency funds, for example, I have
Yes.
some money, but I don't have funds. If my mother falls sick, I don't have money to take her to the hospital and all of that. That creates
Yeah.
immense stress. And you cannot even say ki, why you stress. It's a very natural thing for you to be stressed about, right? But
Mm.
again, back to the fact that we have not been taught that skill to
Yes.
navigate through these emotions. Just because
Mm-hmm.
emotions are natural doesn't mean you have to feel them and suffer. You know,
Yes.
navigating and managing emotions is also uh, uh, is something that can easily be taught. Just the way you're taught to write, read, it's a skill that you can teach and a skill that you can develop practically in your day-to-day life. And
Yes.
that's the reason I
Yes.
said. So supposing ठीक है, अभी schools में जा सकते हैं, but now people who are already working, people who haven't got that background of learning that life skill, I think we have to start in every office, in every organization. We have to have people who will come in, teach them life skills, teach them how to navigate challenging situations. अगर नहीं होता है, so obviously there is a forecast now that I don't know, in another a decade or so, we'll have many people who are mentally unhealthy and therefore affecting the economy, not just in India, I'm speaking globally.
Yeah.
So it's not a problem that you should sweep under the carpet and say, ki, oh, how can you not manage your emotions? Oh, how can you, like she said, cry because you're a man? So a lot of conditioning is also there, right from young age. You तुम बच्चे- you're a boy, what is there to cry like a girl? So it's okay if a girl
Mm.
cries, not okay if a boy cries of the same age, you know.
Yes.
So conditioning has a lot of effect on our stress and emotional imbalance, I would say.
Mhm. Yes. Like you have explained it in such a beautiful way. And I would like to actually mention here, as a part of mental health awareness program, you specifically mentioned life skills. And I'm happy to share that, we have been doing a lot of workshops under this mental health awareness program, and which for schools, colleges, and other educational institutions. So we are actually trying and talking about life skills. Okay,
mm,
life skills, something that irrespective of any education, any career you do, or any chosen walk of life you select, like, but you should be having this XYZ life skills. Let it be being emotionally intelligent, uh, having a good interpersonal relationships skills, rather, we would say, having an effective problem solving and decision making ability, because these things are very much interrelated. And if we actually, as you mentioned, you both mentioned rightly, that earliest as early as possible, if you could introduce something to the students. And also, Arunaji, you mentioned, what about the people who are at workspace? Now they are out of school, their education system se bahar hai. Unke liye kya? So yes, many things can be done. I remember very well, around 2004, the government came with a GR, with a notification that every government employee must earn a certificate in information technology. So
mm,
I remember, like, the people who were almost on the verge of retirement.
mm,
Okay, still it was made compulsory for them as well, and I know it was very difficult. I've seen people in my family, whoever in the government service. So it was very difficult them to adapt. But as it was a government directive, so they made it a point to learn. Uh, let's not talk about effectiveness that time, but they made it a point to learn. So why not something about this kind, being emotional intelligence workshops? Why this can't be done at school level, college level? Why it can't be mandatory? So yes, rightly, I think mental health awareness program will be creating that kind of an impact, where the policy makers need to think about it, and that's the level we need to reach.
yeah,
So Shilpaji, coming back to you, you have been taking a lot of workshops for college students. You have been interacting with them. Uh, I am sure you must be talking about emotional quotient. 15 years back, 10 years back, up to 10 years back, we were talking about IQ. Uh, Probably that was decided by how good your marks are, how good your academics are. But we all remember Mr. Daniel Goleman, who actually came with this concept of emotion. Actually, he's not the one who came with this concept, but he is the one who made it popularized. Okay, in the 90s in the Western countries. So in India, it came probably in the last decade. So emotional quotient. What exactly? Why is it important? And if you could put some light on that also.
Thank you. Thank you for asking this question, because IQ, when it comes to IQ, we always relate it to academics.
Yes.
Generally, generally. But there
Yeah.
are multiple types of IQs, which Goldman did mention. There are eight
Yes.
type
Yeah.
of intelligence. It is not just
Mm.
academics, right? And when it comes to EQ, especially, in very
Mhm.
simple words, it is being aware of my own emotions, knowing my emotions, managing my emotions, and understanding others' emotions and managing them as well. And the tool
Yes.
or the way is through interpersonal, intrapersonal relationships. Just to put it in very broad है कि मैं खुद की भावनाओं को समझता हूँ, मेरे कीन मेरे फैमिली फ्रेंड्स, just a small circle. We need not go, everybody is not a social worker or a politician or someone who brings changes. Let us
Yeah.
just talk about 5-10 people around us. I have a
Mhm.
circle of 10 people. So knowing my emotions, understanding, respecting, and knowing others emotions is all about EQ. और इसी को अगर हम लोग समझ लेंगे, तो एज आई सेड लॉट ऑफ क्लैशेस कैन बी अवॉइडेड और
Avoided.
प्रिवेंटेड. यही बताना है कि कैसे, हाउ डू यू रिस्पेक्ट own emotion and others' emotion. Now, just to give you an example for this, you enter some social function. हम्म, कहीं पर आप चले जाते हो, आप हाउ डज दिस, हाउ इज इट कैलकुलेटेड, आप किस तरह के व्यक्ति हो, डू यू गो एंड इनिशिएट कि सबको इंट्रोडक्शन करा दे, डू यू फील कोई नया आया है और उसे द पर्सन शुड फील इंक्लूडेड, आई शुड गो एंड टॉक टू दैट पर्सन, उसे इंक्लूड कर ले, उसे सबसे बात करने के लिए इंट्रोड्यूस करे, नो अबाउट देम, इंट्रोड्यूस देम. Now, this is very much related to personality type also. This has इस पे genetics भी role play करता है, right? When a couple comes and talks to us कि नहीं ये बहुत शांत है, बात ही नहीं करती, किसी से मिलती नहीं है, जुलती नहीं है. I have this first question in my mind, आप दोनों में से कोई ऐसा है? Probably parents, because there is some genetic है, कुछ environmental है, कुछ education related है. So ये सारे का composition एक मिला के personality. But then there are some things you are born with and there are some things you can learn.
Yes.
Adaptability, जैसे आप नए सिचुएशन में जाते हैं, जैसे आप मानो कोई न्यूक्लियर फैमिली से है, you get married in a very big joint family, okay, and then you willingly, happily try to mold yourself, not जबरदस्ती से नहीं, but you feel like हाँ अच्छा होता है कजिन्स होना, मैं तो अकेली हूँ, if you feel, it is not compulsory. So फिर वो समझना कि कैसे होता है ग्रुप के साथ रहना, कैसे होता है सिबलिंग्स के साथ रहना, और डू आई एंजॉय स्टेइंग अलोन, डू आई फील कि नहीं वही बेटर था, ये अंडरस्टैंड करना. एट द सेम टाइम ये भी अंडरस्टैंड करना कि शायद मेरे पार्टनर का बैकग्राउंड अलग है, द वे ही और शी हैज बीन ब्रॉट अप इज डिफरेंट, वो अलग तरीके से आते हैं, एंड आई रिस्पेक्ट दैट. This is also about respecting. If I don't like being with a social circle, I don't disrespect the other person who enjoys that. Yeah, well, this is also very, very small, simple things. But yeah, knowing is important. Understanding, acknowledging is important. You may not agree every time, but acknowledge.
Yes. I think it's like agreeing to disagree. I think that itself could be a
That's okay.
big factor
That's
into
and
this.
that way you can make peace with it, na?
Yeah, certainly.
अगर अंदर कॉन्फ्लिक्ट है ना तो स्ट्रेस पैदा करेगा. कॉन्फ्लिक्ट खत्म कर देंगे तो स्ट्रेस शायद कम हो सकता है.
Okay. Yes. Aruna ji, again coming back to you. You said you would be saying something about a specific curriculum. If you could put some light on that, and I'm aware we discussed previously also on that, and yeah, please.
So before I talk about that, there is just one thing I want to say. I think we should be also clear that just because we are stressing on emotional management, emotional well-being, emotional intelligence, and all of that, it doesn't mean in any way that emotions are bad. In fact, the expression of emotions is very, very important. Okay, and it's just that ultimately the emotion, either the expression from somebody else or your own expression, should not make you feel pain or suffering. Maybe for a little time, yes, but that should not stay with you. You know what I'm saying? That is what is called navigating through emotions. So emotions per se are not bad, and suppression of emotions is absolutely not the right way. But a proper expression or even a normal expression, but then navigating through that interpersonal or intrapersonal, exchange of thoughts or feelings or whatever it is. So I think we should be clear about that. कि नहीं तो बहुत लोग सोचते हैं कि emotions, expressing emotions is not very good, and they suppress what they are actually feeling. They don't speak about it. So I think we need to be clear that it's not like that.
Yes.
Coming back to what I wanted to tell you about the curriculum is that in 2019, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and along with a group of universities, also certain top psychologists from the US, educationists from the US, and all of that, they have come up with a program called C Learning. It's
Mm-hmm.
called social, emotional, and ethical learning.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the research and study was going on for a long, long time before that. But in 2019, they actually unveiled the entire curriculum for three sets of students in school. So they
Yeah.
have divided it into age groups. So the smaller children, then the preteens, and the high school. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and some of the foundations of that teaching, and they have clearly laid out a curriculum. So the teacher, after she gets the teacher's training program and she is the qualified to teach, can actually just should actually just follow the curriculum, and it's very beautifully given. So there are not just mainly they are focused on real life situations or creating those
Mm-hmm.
kind of mock situations. And
Yeah.
some of the things that are included, I just noted this down before we came on the show. Uh, Qualities such as empathy, compassion, social skills, building resilience, strengthening
Mm-hmm.
attention and self-awareness,
Yeah.
navigating emotions. So basically, understanding and navigating. So if a child is angry, in some way, make him understand what that emotion is. Because for them at
Mm-hmm.
that time, it's just an expression. They don't understand कि क्या हो रहा है उससे, right? Um, Learning about one another. So it's not just about me and my emotions, but learning about somebody else's emotions. So you start planting that seed when they are younger. And the last but very important point, according to me, is that teaching that we are all in this together.
Yes.
It's not like you are a single person battling a lot of things. A lot of people are also battling emotions. How can you come together, work together to create a better, more healthy world? So all
Mm-hmm.
of this is encompassed in the C-learning curriculum.
Yes.
And
Yes.
it's actually been introduced in schools in the US, in
Mm-hmm.
Canada, in Mexico. I think Mexico has made it mandatory to introduce the
Okay.
curriculum. India maybe have few schools are adopting it. So let's see. This is a very new thing that has just started, and because of COVID, it sort of didn't shape up for those 2 years. But
Mm-hmm.
now there are proper coordinators, there are teachers who are teaching this curriculum,
Mm-hmm.
features
Okay.
so that they can take it forward in the classroom.
Yes. Yes. I think we need a lot of such curriculums, and as we said, it should be in a way it should be mandatory, uh, because I think we all are aware what emotion does to us, what emotion does to the society, social, emotional, ethical, and yes, definitely. I think Shilpa ji, the last question to you is that
Yeah.
हमने इमोशनल अवेयरनेस से इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस की जो हम जर्नी डिस्कस कर रहे हैं, what all factors should be considered important, and probably this could be your concluding statement as well. So if you could, when we talk about umbrella, the big umbrella where emotions are part of it, and let's, as Aruna ji said, that you are not alone in this. So we need to make everyone feel interconnected, right? And making this place, of course, we are not in a fairy tale that we'll be saying everything will be good. It's not a black and white thing.
No.
So there would be certain challenges, there would be stressful situations, and I am totally aware that the stressful situation is going to aggravate in future with the climate change happening, with the rate of climate change it's happening, and because of that the chaos it has been creating, the insecurity for the resources, insecurity. It is also said that the Britain, the world's one of the most powerful economy, is actually going down, and the main reason behind is the deteriorating mental well-being of the citizens. So that's something very alarming, and I don't know why, but people are not talking about it, because that's probably the next pandemic, I would rather say. And probably 10 years now onwards, if we rewind to this specific video, uh, people will know that that's the reality that we are talking about. And let's all see. So, Shilpa ji, your concluding statement on this.
I would say this is the beginning.
Yeah.
Let us just say की आत्ताच आपण उठलोय मे बी जागे जागे.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is the starting of awareness. This is the starting. And if we just understand that there are circles when it comes to managing stress, the
Yes.
one who understands this, it would be great. Like there are some things that are within your control.
Mm-hmm.
हाँ मैं क्या पहन सकती हूँ, मैं क्या खा सकती हूँ, हाँ मैं कहाँ जा सकती हूँ, all this is in my control. There are certain things that are in sphere of influence, like if I
Yes.
tell my partner or my mom or my kid what to wear, what will look good on you, where I have some influence. Hmm? And then
Yes.
there are things that are beyond our control.
Mm-hmm.
December में बारिश आना, beyond our control. You are not prepared for it. Pandemic, no one was prepared for it. Okay, and in that situation, understanding again what is there in my hand, what is there in my control, even if these basics are like taught or thought upon, वो बहुत ज़्यादा स्ट्रेस मैनेजमेंट में काम करेगा. इट विल हेल्प अंडरस्टैंडिंग द नीड, दैट विल हेल्प. इतना भी अगर
Yes.
हम समझ
Yes.
जाए कि हाँ मैं क्या कर सकता हूँ, मैं क्या नहीं कर सकता हूँ, मैं कहाँ इन्फ्लुएंस कर सकता हूँ, दैट्स आई थिंक दैट शुड बी.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just want to
Thank you,
say one
Shilpa
thing.
ji, for that. Yes. Aruna ji, your concluding
Yes.
statement on I was coming to you.
I didn't want to do that, but something has just come to mind. So, what I
Okay.
feel is if you look at the title, like emotional awareness to emotional intelligence, I think that journey
Mm-hmm.
is doable. Everybody
Yeah.
can do it. Okay. There are some
Mm-hmm.
very good tools that are available. And since I'm a Vipassana
Mm-hmm.
meditation teacher, I can say with confidence that Vipassana meditation is one such tool where there is a combination of knowledge and practice, which a person
Yeah.
can do, understanding your own mind, understanding what the mind is. See, because we tend to sort of not look at what our scriptures are saying, and we follow the Western model all the time. But I think
Yes.
that
Yes.
just as Modi ji is now giving yoga to the world, I think it's time for Indians to
Mm-hmm.
now give what we have from our scriptures to the world.
Yeah.
And I feel fortunate that I have started on this journey. And I genuinely believe that Vipassana meditation is a very, very great tool, including there are other tools also, but it's one of the great tools to allow this journey from improving your awareness, emotional and
Yes.
otherwise, and slowly start
Mm-hmm.
becoming more and more emotionally intelligent and increasing your
Yes.
EQ, which is just a measurement of emotional intelligence, just like IQ is a measure of emotional
Yes.
intelligence. And not only
Yes.
that, I would
Yes.
say it's also a method to improve your spiritual intelligence because there is something even
Yes.
beyond improving your
Mm.
emotional intelligence. So that's all I want to say.
Yes. Yes. That's fantastic, man. Amazing insights shared by both of you. And I'm sure the listeners, even if they take a bit of it, that's going to impact on a big time. And I would like to appeal from this platform, anyone going through any kind of emotional distress. We have professionals and experts with us in this as a part of our mental health awareness program. Feel free to connect with us. The contact details has been there online on Punekar News Unheard. So you do follow this, and also would like to I last time also I announced, and this time I would also like to highlight it one more time that Punekar News again is coming up with another very important social cause and being a responsible media. So, empowering women against breast cancer. And we have a talk show specifically focused on awareness regarding breast cancer on every Sunday for this September and for the month of October on Sunday 11 a.m. on Punekar News. So also stay connect and support the initiative, and I appeal all the medical professionals, the survivors, to join this initiative, inspire others to empower her. So Aruna ji, again, thank you so much. Shilpa ji, thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for
Thank
coming
you.
on this platform again and empowering us with your thoughts. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
so
Thank you
viewers.
much.
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.